Welcome to another special COVID-19 news edition of the Mount Prospect Update. I'm your host, Alyssa Ali. The Village of Mount Prospect continues to manage the COVID-19 pandemic response while maintaining core services to residents and business owners. Federal and state guidance to all non-essential businesses is to stay at home, practice safe physical distancing, and frequently wash hands. These efforts will assist in reducing the number of COVID-19 infections and hopefully allow our hospitals and healthcare professionals to handle the flow of more serious cases. Governor Pritzker announced the extension of the Illinois stay-at-home order through May 30th, easing restrictions on some businesses and introducing new requirements for state residents. Here's an overview of some of the changes. State parks will begin a phased reopening under guidance from the Department of Natural Resources. Fishing and boating in groups of no more than 2 people will be permitted. A list of parks that will be open on May 1st and additional guidelines can be found on the Illinois Department of Natural Resources website. Golf courses will reopen and golf will be permitted under strict safety guidelines provided by the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and when ensuring that social distancing is followed. The Mount Prospect Park District course will reopen and the restaurant will serve food for takeout dining. Some new essential businesses will be reclassified. Greenhouses, garden centers, and nurseries may reopen as essential businesses. These stores must follow social distancing requirements and must require that employees and customers wear a face covering. Animal grooming services may also reopen in order to take care of our pets. There will be changes for retail stores. Retail stores not previously designated as non-essential businesses may reopen in order to fulfill telephone and online orders through pickup outside the store and delivery only. There will also be changes for businesses that were previously classified as essential. Essential businesses and manufacturers will be required to provide face coverings to all employees who are not able to maintain 6 feet of social distancing, as well as follow new requirements that maximize social distancing and prioritize the well-being of employees and customers. This will include occupancy limits for essential businesses and precautions such as staggering shifts and operating only essential lines for manufacturers. For those of you with college students sheltering in your homes, educational institutions may allow and establish procedures for pickup of necessary supplies or student belongings. Dormitory move-outs must follow public health guidelines, including social distancing. Contact your student's educational institution for their rules and regulations in order to schedule a pickup. Most importantly, the change that will affect the largest amount of Mount Prospect residents beginning on May 1st, all individuals will be required to wear a face covering or a mask when in a public place where they can't maintain a 6-foot social distance. Face coverings will be required in public indoor spaces such as stores. This new requirement applies to all individuals over the age of 2 who are able to medically tolerate a face covering or a mask. If you're going somewhere where you won't come within 6 feet of other people or are easily able to avoid others, like inside your car, then going out without a face covering would technically be acceptable. Even if you're not wearing it, keeping a face covering in your proverbial or literal back pocket is probably a good idea. A face covering is also not required while exercising outdoors as long as you maintain a 6-foot distance from others. People should only do exercise that enables them to keep physical distance from others. Running, biking, and walking are forms of exercise that would allow for the foregoing of a face mask, as these are activities that allow for 6-foot distancing. Businesses can now refuse entry to any individual without a face covering. The Illinois order requires face coverings in public indoor spaces such as stores. During a recent press conference, Governor Pritzker compared the situation to a patron trying to enter a restaurant without wearing shoes. People who run restaurants have been able to tell people who are walking barefoot in their restaurants they're not allowed to be there. It's perfectly acceptable to tell people you're not allowed in if you're not wearing a face mask. Please don't purchase or acquire N95 respirators and medical-grade surgical masks. Those masks should be reserved for healthcare workers, first responders, and essential workers who need the protection in order to safely do their jobs. If you happen to be sitting on a stockpile, consider donating it to a hospital. CDC guidance dictates that a reusable cloth mask that uses multiple layers of fabric and fits snugly against the sides of the face offers sufficient protection to individuals who venture out into public. If you want to acquire a cloth mask, there are dozens of people in our community who are already making them for purchase. If you don't want to purchase a mask, the CDC hosts a handy guide to creating a DIY face mask, and most of them will only eat up a little bit of your free time. Go to cdc.gov and click on cloth face coverings on the homepage. In other news, the next regularly scheduled village board meeting will take place remotely on the 5th at 7 p.m. Mayor Jurasek, the Board of Trustees, and staff will use a video remote platform to facilitate this meeting. Residents can view the meeting on the MPDC web stream at mountprospect.org/MPDC, or they can watch it on cable television on Channel 17 on the Comcast and WOW systems. Residents are asked to send in their questions prior to the meeting by going to mountprospect.org/public comment. Many residents want to know how they can help with food donations. Due to staffing conditions and the governor's stay-at-home order, the village has determined that limiting food donations at this time is the best course of action for the safety of both staff and residents. Residents who would like to assist the food pantry are asked to donate gift cards to local grocery stores in increments of $15 and $25. Donations can be deposited in the water bill depository outside of Village Hall or mailed to the Human Services Department at Village Hall at 50 South Emerson Street, Mount Prospect, Illinois 60056. Donations may also be made online through the village website, mountprospect.org/donation. The gift cards will be provided to residents using the food from the pantry so that they can also obtain needed perishable items to supplement the dried goods we provide. Due to the generous nature of Mount Prospect residents, the Human Services Department has collected nearly $7,000 thus far. Residents are also asking how they can help the community in other ways. The village has set up a webpage at mountprospect.org/howtohelp. This site will provide information about how to help with donations for people who need financial assistance, donations of PPE, personal protective equipment, and a form for those who would like to get on the village's volunteer list. Businesses can find resources on a variety of COVID-19 relief programs offered at the state and federal level by visiting mountprospect.org/MPEI. Those that wish to support our local restaurants will discover an updated list of those offering pickup and delivery at mountprospect.org/takeout. Some restaurants have chosen to take advantage of the village's temporary modifications to the liquor license restrictions and now offer beer and wine to go with a food purchase. The village will continue to update residents as new information becomes available. Updates will be posted on the village website, mountprospect.org, and don't forget to follow the village on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This has been your Mount Prospect Update. I'm your host, Alyssa Ali, and I will see you on the next edition.